Remember those claw machines at arcades where you line it up just perfect, you press the button, and just when you think you've got it, it slips? So frustrating, right? Well, imagine using the same clumsy control, not to build something trivial, but to build something on the moon. Now, that's a matter of life and death. But this is not just a thought experiment. We're going back to the moon in 2027. That's just 2 years from now. And this time, we're going there not to visit, but to build, right? And so we're told that space is all about precision robotics. It's rocket science, right, after all. But here's the thing, the moon, it's not a lab. It's the wild, wild west with dust that cuts like razor blades, with temperature that breaks things, and gravity that just throws you off. And so those machines, they're gonna break, they're gonna jam, and if we keep designing machines with this assumed perfection, we are gonna lose a lot of time, money, and maybe even lives, like far, far away from home. And so that is the thought that I can't shake. That what if chasing for this precision is actually making us fragile? And so what if we made our systems moon-proof? And this is the idea that I test in my PhD. I take astronauts and robots in virtual reality. I team them up and I make them build things brick by brick. But I don't make it easy for them. I throw in a little chaos with a dropped brick here, a jammed arm here. I just basically make it a nightmare for them. And I study how the teams adapt. So I redesign the brick, I tweak the communication style, and I look for that sweet spot where mistakes don't mean failure. So early results have shown that when the design and dialogue are done just right, the teams recover faster, they recover with less stress and with more success. And so this is experimental proof that resilience beats perfection. So 10 years ago, I was struggling in university. I came this close to dropping out. That could have been the end of it, but it wasn't. Why? Because I learned something, that resilience beats perfection. And now the moon is teaching us the same thing. But this lesson is not just for astronauts, it's for anybody who's trying to get through a Monday, when your coffee machine is broken down, or Zoom just doesn't want to share the right screen. We don't need technology to be perfect. We need to build teams that are resilient, that can get us through the day. So we need to be moon-proof. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Alan. So, any questions from the audience?
Yeah.
We only have a limited amount of experience of human interaction on the moon. So how can you be sure that you covered all possible eventualities of things that could go wrong?
Yeah, we cannot be sure, but we can do our best. So what we try to do is we try to imagine what is going to go wrong. We can take examples of what we learn from our experiences here on Earth, because that we have a lot, right? And so when we try to combine them with these additional challenges, like the gravity, for example, it's going to be really difficult to simulate lunar gravity. But if we learn from our earthy experiences, I think that's the best way to go. And so it again applies back to Earth, and so it's sort of a loop, in my opinion. Thank you.
Any more questions? Okay, so I have a question. So, how can this mass design approach be applied to the real world disasters or not for the moon, but for the real world disasters also?
Yeah, so space architecture is all about design for the extremes, right? So you have to build with limited resources and in a limited amount of time. And so those approaches can be translated to our earthly applications for disaster relief, like you mentioned. So if we imagine we take these wrapped up things over there, and then on the moon we inflate it. And so in the same way, if we take all these like tents you can imagine, which are all wrapped up inside trucks, we drive them to these disaster relief zones, and then we sort of inflate them over there. So that's one way that we can sort of adapt the lessons that we learn and apply it here, but there are many more, which I'd love to discuss maybe later, if time permits.
Thank you, Albert.